Yes, now we're live. Good evening, everyone, or good day. It might be daytime where some of you are tuning in from, but I am Dr. Betty Speaks, and I am bringing another doctor to the house tonight. Actually, you may see Coach there, but she's actually Dr. Laveda Whitfield. I tell you, this is a phenomenal young lady that has, she's like one of my very first civilian mentors, and she definitely inspired a lot of things into me, and one of them is definitely stepping out and speaking. I have seen this young lady on NBC, BET, maybe ABC. I've seen her on live TV. That's what I'm saying. And those type of things, when you follow her, when you Google Lavita, you're gonna see the word lovey a lot of places. Lovey, Whitfield. The word lovey has such a divine meaning to it, and it's what so many of us need in our world today as we go on this journey of what's taking place in the world, getting rid of all the negativity. And when you think of a lovely person, guess what? I'm presenting her to you today. And it is such an honor. I tell you, once you connect to her, nowadays we're looking for longevity relationships, right? Those relationships that will last a lifetime, no matter what happens. You can pick up the phone and call a friend. And when I say call a friend, now she may charge you if you go over 10 minutes because of her status today. Where she is in life today, it may cost you to be on the phone with her past 15, no, past 10 minutes. I think her payment is every 15 minutes is $50. Just kidding. But she's a lovely lady, and we're talking about, she has a twofold story that I want to share with the world today. Because my audience is worldwide, I want to bring them some worldwide information that doesn't only hit at home, but it's actually that what she's going to share with you today is information that actually hit a person's life worldwide. And because of this month being cancer awareness, and it's also domestic violence awareness, or what is that the right term, Coach O? Yes. So you're gonna hear this powerhouse give you some nuggets on some things that we share with one another just last evenings. But I want her to just go over those things with you, introduce who she is, allow you to know how you can get in touch with her, what projects she's working on, what projects she has worked on. She's just going to download into you and inspire you in order that you can get to know who she is. And listen, she has lived life too. The other thing, what I love about her is her story of that's mine, that's mine, that's mine. So we've known each other for more than 10 years, and all of everything she has stored in me, I still to inspire upon it. That's why I said we are here. Season opportunities and rise, and season opportunities to be reborn, season opportunities to rebuild. That's what SOAR is all about. So I'm sipping lips because this young lady, I call her Dr. Lovey, Dr. Lavita Whitfield, because she's the one that says, vote for me. I vote for me. Forget everybody else who's voting for all these others. Vote for yourself sometimes. So, Dr. Whitfield, take the platform away.
Well, first of all, I got to give it back over to Dr. Betty Speaks. We have this thing that everyone in my household and people have come in contact with her. We say, when Dr. Betty speaks, we listen. That's it. That's all. I salute you as, a woman of favor, valor, a retiree, just a leader in the community, and your heart. I tell you, if that heart get any bigger, I think I don't know, it's outside of your body, but you're absolutely an amazing jewel. And it has been 10 years that we've been knowing each other. 10 good years. I'm looking for more. But, I thank you so much for the opportunity to be on such an amazing platform that I know God has ordained you to do. So thank you for that invitation. I love you to life.
Love you too, sister.
But you're right, Dr. Betty. You're right. This month is a dual month of awareness. We have the breast cancer, the pink month. Cancer awareness, but the month of October focuses on breast cancer. And I don't downplay any other forms of cancer because I also survived by negative testings, got very close, but I lost my mom to cancer, quite a few family members. I know you're a survivor, so many close people to me. But then we talk about the hard subject, that purple month, domestic violence awareness month. This thing, ladies and gentlemen, it's real. And I love it, Dr. Betty, that you open up this platform to talk about those hard subjects, those uneasy, those will hush your mouth, keep quiet. You and I lost an angel, and actually her name is Angel. And to senseless. And and I'm not going to paint the picture to make it easy for you to receive it. My girl was murdered. Yes. She didn't die. She didn't pass away. She was stolen from us. This young lady had so much life to live, creativity, beautiful children looking at her. And when she smiled, she light up a room, pretty brown, stolen from us. Stolen. And and that's and her name is Angel. So now all of us refer to her as my angel, my angel, my angel. And the thing is, we have so many angels out there, Dr. Betty, that's right in front of us, and we miss the signs, but the signs are there. The signs are there, and they're so crystal clear. But then oftentimes, I found out to be that we hesitate to move because we don't want to overstep our boundaries with whoever's being abused, because it's not just a woman thing anymore, right? We have men being abused. We don't want to cross it because I don't want to get anybody's business. And you oftentimes we say, well, I can't force him or her to move on if they're not ready. Let me tell you something. If you've never been pushy, be pushy now. That's the time to be. They will get mad at you, and I'm gonna tell you why I know this to be true. They'll get mad at you. Oh yeah, they will. They may even push back, but one day they'll tell you thank you.
Yes.
They will tell you thank you. If I can tell a little bit about my truth, Dr. Betty, this is the thing. I remember, I'm sorry. I was just checking, making sure we're good to go. I remember a point in my life where I was in a relationship. I wanted love so bad, a failed marriage. And just thought that as I'm praying to God to give me a significant other, you better be careful when you pray, how loud you pray, because not only is God listening, the enemy is listening. So I thought that I could take love any kind of way it was dealt to me. I would take it, and I compromised my life. I compromised my values, but I did have some good friends. I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, I had some friends, some ride or die that would tell me the truth. But guess what? I got mad. I didn't want to hear it. But he loves me. You don't understand. Maybe I could change him. Look, I hope y'all are still listening and listen to those words. Maybe I can change him. So I'm not bashing the men right now. I'm only telling my truth. Maybe I could change him. Excuse me. Maybe I could be that beacon of hope to say, why don't you try it this way? Why don't you try it that way? Maybe if I was nicer, or maybe if I spoke up more or spoke less. I'm sorry, this thing is bothering me. Maybe if I spoke up or spoke less, that I could be that difference in his life. Maybe I could be that one woman that would stop this pattern. Let me tell you something. You're not that one. I don't care how pretty you are. I don't care how quiet you are. I don't care how vocal you are. I don't care how much love you can make, how good you think you can. Until he or she is ready to make that change, you have to move out of the way. I just believe, when God is trying to break a person down to its least common denominator, get their attention, if you stand in the way, you can be in the raft of fire. That's just what I believe. Well, Dr. Betty, I know you're still here with me. This place that I was in, it lasted to me forever. But when I went back and mapped it, it was under a year too much. To the point where I would think that because I'm prior military as well, I learned some combat moves. So I thought, well, let me tell you something. When you have someone who have this control over you mentally and physically, you don't have enough strength. See, the thing is that we want to think that again, we could get in that person's mind, we could change them, we could do. You can't. Until that person is ready to go through that process without you, they're not for you. I experience fighting. I experienced verbal, and to the point where I thought I came up with some good combination of words. I thought I was good. I remember one time we were together, and the way they start with the alienating you, from your family and friends, where I had a very close military family, like brothers and sisters, and we were great. And he started to take me from them. And I couldn't show up for their birthday parties or, the cookouts, military, y'all stick together because, everybody's from all over. And to the point where I had to now always wear skirts, long skirts, because if I sat with jeans, oftentimes you sit with jeans, you may not cross your legs. You're feeling really comfortable. He felt that people or the men were looking at me. These were like my brothers. These guys were there when nobody else was there. A whole big family, to the point where I started being pulled away from ministry, showing up, because he felt that the ushers or any male wanted me. Now, I didn't think I was that pretty. I didn't think I was that foxy and fine that everybody wanted me. You know what I mean? But then it got to my mind, it had me looking at people differently. We were in a car once before, and I began to speak up. He grabbed me by the face, and I'm in the car. So, you have a, the seatbelt and the buckle of the seatbelt, I guess the stand, if you will, took me by my face and was able to hold my face so hard where I had an indentation in my temples, both sides of my face, and ran my head into the wall of the car. Now, to me, I thought that I got him good too, because he had scratches on his face. When a person's adrenaline is so high, they feel none of that. Because oftentimes when you think you're fighting back physically, that only gives them more room to keep fighting more, because now you're just like them. I was in the kitchen one day. We're talking to this person now came to my house. We're in the kitchen one day, and argument for no reason. And I got frustrated, and I pushed through the broom, like out of my hand. I didn't throw it at him, but I, just threw it out of my hand. Needless to say, that was another trigger. That was close to the last time that the hitting got too much. That my God gave me grace and gave me favor. I ignored the signs because, of course, you get flowers. Of course, you get fine items. Sometimes, ladies. Sometimes. I'm only talking to the ladies this time because I'm a lady. You may get a fancy dinner. You may get the tears that my mother wasn't there for me and nobody loved me, and now you feel in sympathy. You get all that. And then you get abused again and again and again. And some of you all can be like my angel. We never see you again. Well, the last time, I almost was never seen again. An argument of something to this day, I can't even remember. But the man's child was visiting me in my home now. He came to stay at my home while his child came out of town to visit. My place was a place where she could be. Wonderful young lady, beautiful young lady. We got into an argument. This man attacked me, so much so that he was hitting me all in the head, choking me to the point where I stopped breathing. His own child jumped on him to have him stop, and I witnessed him throw her across the room. The young girl was terrified, rightfully so. You're my father. And now I know that she witnessed this with her own mother, because then the mother then explained it to me when I had to give her that call. Was this man taking my breath, my life, because of that adrenaline and going so much in rage for no reason? If it wasn't for his child jumping in, and I hate that she had to take a blow for me, I don't know where I would be. Let me tell you, everybody, it's just a breath away that somebody could go too far. It's just seconds away that you may not be able to take a deep breath. It's just moments away that you can't scream for help. The signs are there. The thing is, we have to not be so afraid to identify them. And I employ all of the family and friends that someone is going through this. Don't stop. I don't care if they get angry with you. They'll come back one day and thank you. I had to thank my girlfriends who never gave up on me, but brought things to my attention. Dr. Betty, they brought it to my attention like, this not right. I didn't want to hear it, but they never turned it back on me. They never gave up. They had to pull back because of the barriers. Listen, you know somebody's going through it. The signs are there when she stopped showing up to events, when she stopped answering your calls, or she get very defensive when you want to talk about, are you okay? That's a sign. And for the abuser, you don't have to stay in this mindset, because not only did we lose my angel, I'm not celebrating the murderer. I'm not. I give him no glory and no airspace or mind space. No, none of that, because he stole from me. But guess what? His mother didn't deserve to not see her son again. His family didn't deserve it. So now not only did we lose our angel, another family was affected because it's mental, it's rage. And, oftentimes, Dr. Betty, they want to blame it on, a mental disease. It may be. But if you're not a doctor who studied mental illness or physical or abuse of generation psychologist, if that's not your profession, you do not have to be the trial case. So I employ every sister, every brother out there right now, get some help. You don't have to want love that hard where it hurt. Dr. Betty, I almost never met you.
Wow.
I almost never met you.
Mm-mm-mm.
And God,
I am thankful. I am grateful. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm thankful for the young lady who sacrificed her life to jump in, and that was his own child. His own child. And it's so crazy that children are smart, man. Children are smart. Children will ask you questions. Why are you crying so much? Listen, lady, look, if you want to see the children grow up, and if you want to see the abuser that you love so much change, move, get away, let them change.
Yes.
He can't change with you right there.
You have brought so many songs to my mind as I listen to you speak, like make that change or break that change or broken chains. It's like so many inspirational songs that like actually pop through my mind as I hear you share your story. And I want you to know that as I research the subject of domestic violence, and there especially now, Dr. Whitfield, during this pandemic, it has risen not only with spouse to spouse, but spouse to children. And people, you said some interesting things here. You mentioned triggers, you mentioned verbal abuse, all of these are, and then you mentioned the signs. You mentioned so many things. One needs to recognize the signs, and not only that, others recognize the signs too. And one of our senators that we just lost this year, he said, when you see something, say something. So it doesn't matter. That's, as you said, the things that you went through, and you just make me want to go, Jesus, 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 my angel, what she went through and how that affected like millions of us, people that didn't even know her. But for those of us that knew her and knew her gifts, her talents, and then the kids that she had, for those children to witness that, and some of them that had to travel back home to her situation, that never got to hear her last goodbye. And then for the neighbors, we just encountered so much with her loss. The neighbors was like, yeah, I heard something, but then things went silent. Well, what do you think happened when everything went silent?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, Dr. Betty, I love it. You're right. When you hear something, say something. This is the season now. We got to speak up. And you're right. During this pandemic, Everything is crazy. You can't get out, you can't socialize. So unfortunately, the children or the spouse may be the blunt of your frustration. Listen, everybody, listen, go to either a spiritual leader or someone who studies social activities or something. Talk to somebody. If you feel that you're so bottled up and so much stress that's building up, listen, go talk to somebody. And take a walk, get out. You got to get your mental space into a place where you can receive and hear and just cleanse. But again, at the same time, my sisters, this is not your problem. The mental instability of the particular person, that's not, you can't heal that. No, you can't. By being there, being quiet and keep rubbing the back and being the sweetheart, you can be all that from a distance. Because like Dr. Betty said, you're right. Neighbors, the children, her business partners, people across the country that sold into her just to be a blessing to the children. Everyone was affected. Even the accuser, the murderer. Yes, that is what he is. And forever in my eyes, that's what he is. His family, so many people, but they knew something was wrong with him. But nobody thought it was important enough to say something. They knew something was wrong with his activity, but nobody thought it was important to say something. The man that I dated, his mother knew his habits, his activity. I spoke to her on several occasions, but she never thought it was important enough to say something. Because I don't want to get in his business. I don't want to expose. Listen, it's not about exposing the person. It's the spirit in that person that has to be released. Because if I was not careful and I continue, because I thought it was love, it smelled good, it walked good, it talked good. Come on, Miss Betty, a lot of good, bad good.
I'm trying to tell you, yes, and everything that looked good on the outside is not good on the inside. No, she just gave me a standing ovation. Everything that looked good, smelled good on the outside can't be good on the inside. And I love the fact that you said mothers who know. We're going to come back and visit that. This is going to be, there's going to be a take two on this, because I have other clients that were involved in domestic violence, and they talk about the mothers who knew. They knew, and this one is going to blow you away. We may have to get you to do this one on your talk show. Let's talk about your show, what it is that you do. Look at that smile.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm waiting for some more doors to open to follow your leadership. Waiting for some more doors. It's the Lovey Show, where we have real talk, real time for real people. We just keeping it real and talking about things that's hard to speak about. Talk about those goals and dreams that we have that's suppressed because of life. And it's forthcoming. And I'm waiting for that opportunity. And I believe in, just like you, we open the doors for people to connect, to find those resources and give them a platform just to speak. I'm all about your power voice. Listen, there's something in you got to come out. You know, it has to come out. So with that said, I'm excited. I look forward to it launching prayerfully by the end of the year. But, this is my conference month. I can't even do a physical conference because everything going on. But I feel good to be with you today on the conference month for me.
I love that. And there's something else that you mentioned when you were speaking of Angel, because like you said, that was like, there have been so much talk about domestic violence going on all around us. And I remember the times when you would speak to my Angel. We would pour out into her, give her assistance way before we knew about this person, and because she went quiet on us. And you talked about that. You said he pulled you away from your family, pulled you away from your ministry, pulled you away from your friends. These are definitely signs that one should look out for. And then something else you said, because believe it or not, Dr. Whitfield, my next guest today, his last name is Whitfield. And it's like, I kept looking at his name and I'm thinking, I wonder if this is Dr. Whitfield, and it's just that field in it, and It's talking about the verbal abuse that he
Mhm.
went through with his first wife. What, because you spoke on it earlier, like, man, I'm just telling you about what I experienced as a woman. And this may not even be a question for you, but I just want to clear up the fact that, because I did a call last Friday, and one of the guests said, "What about the brothers?" It was a women's call, and he said, "Well, what about the brothers?" Well, if
Mhm.
it wasn't for the mothers, there would be no brothers. I want to start singing that song. But but this young man said, "What level of domestic violence do you want me to talk about?" Lavita, what level is there?
And that's the thing. Level 1 to level 10 is all wrong. And when you start going by domestic, that's a generational curse that has to be broken, because the communication from the parents, whoever raised them, spoke to them this way. And they think now this is the way that I have to speak. But I'm going to tell you this, it can be broken. And an abuser, whether she's a male or a female, they prey on the weak, as in minded, spiritually, emotionally. Those are the ones that they prey on. But I thought, and I'll just tell you this really quickly. I thought I was pretty strong minded. I thought I was, but because there was a sense of need, because my biological father was not there in my life, so I had this need for a male to be there. So I was about to accept, or I did, let's tell the truth, accept whatever I could. And some kind of way, he knew what my need was and was able to prey on it. And because of generational, the way he was possibly communicated with from his parents, whomever, he felt that was a way it was to keep going. That's the reason why we have so much verbal abuse and even physical, because they mimic what they saw. But at some point, ladies and gentlemen, you have to break it for you. You can't heal him. You can't heal her. You break it when it comes to you, because now you're responsible for your seed. So if a woman is just as smart mouth and snappy and degrading to that male, her children are going to see it. You're just as wrong. You're just as wrong as him putting his hands on you and talking to you. Break it. Can't heal him, but you can stop it when it comes here and anything that passed through your body. Stop it.
Oh my goodness. She said, "Stop it." There's another song in there. Stop.
Everybody must know Dr. Betty is a singer. She's a
There is another song that just came out of that. And you like hit that nail on the head, because as I spoke to your cousin, the other Whitfield, and I have a 3 o'clock with him today. But you said the needs, you know, we look for our fathers in the men, or a man might look for his mother in a woman. Those needs are there. And can you imagine the men that go through domestic violence and they tolerate it? And then what happens? I'm gonna let you talk on this. I forget where our time is, but I want you to just read. This is a vision. This is you visualizing what happens when our brothers, our strong brothers, the kings in our life, snap after domestic. I'm moving myself away, stepping away from the mic. It's you.
And that's crazy. When our strong brothers, they finally snap. Unfortunately, this is what happened. We want to judge him for snapping, but never find out or never sit down and talk what pushed you to that point. Now I'm talking about when he was abused. He's been abused by his spouse or significant other, and he was always raised, don't raise your hand at a woman. He was always raised, don't speak loud at a woman. Keep your peace. He's got a mild manner, pretty laid back kind of guy, but then he snapped, something happened. But now what society will do is now we will attack him, but never found out or never address what did he go through? What was he suppressing with all of this rearing up, saying never talk this way, never do this, but he never was able to express himself? True and fact. And I'm going to give it back over because I know you got people lined up. Let me tell you what happened very quickly. Because I carried on the relationship, the the traits or the habits and the practices of the abusive relationship, although it didn't last long, but it lasted too long. When when God finally sent me my king, oh my word, I was the blessed woman. He knew what I needed. It walked good, smelled good, but it was what I needed. It was good for me. Okay. Now, this is what happened. Because I came from a place of yelling and throwing and I can fight and we can do this. I attempted to bring that into a new good. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. I attempted to bring it to that new good. But this is one of the type of men who was raised, you don't yell, you don't throw, you don't hit, you stand your ground. You mean what you mean. And I was going in, Dr. Betty, and you know who my husband is. That's a big guy, right? But I thought this 5'3", such and such weight was going to do it until he hit the table. I am not him. He ceased it right in that moment. What he did was cut it off. And I'm so grateful that he was strong enough to say, I am who I am. Whatever you've been through stops there. So I just want to let somebody know when you're granted another opportunity to be loved the way you should, and for you to love again, don't take past performances, past habits, and scenarios into your new love, especially when you know God ordained that new thing. Stop it right there. And if you were the one that was abused and or abuser, get yourself right first, because there is somebody that he will align for you to put in your life to be that one that you need, not the one that you want. The grandma used to say, love the one that love you, not the one you love. He's going to put the one that's supposed to be in your life. And it's going to be sweet. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt your feelings. It's not going to hurt you physically. But your part, don't bring that mess into a new set of love. But Big Larry hit that table, Dr. Betty. He said, he said, stop. I got my act together quick.
And when she says that her husband is a big guy, she doesn't mean like it's like a quarterback type of big guy, masculine, just very stocky, and I can only, and Laveda ain't but like 4'11", and this guy's like 12 something. But he is that angel that, he's such a blessing. I've never heard him raise his voice. I've always encountered a smile and like arms open like an angel. So I cannot imagine what it was like for him to say, I'm going to save this. I'm saving her soul. I'm going to give her the love that she never had. I'm taking her back, and everything that she said is that's mine. I'm going to make sure she have it. I'm going to give her the king she wants, the queen that she is, turn her into that, get rid of all that darkness and bring out the new light. And that's just like your brother that I'll be speaking to today. Honestly, when I read his bio and it said speaker with Eric Thompson, is it Thompson or
Eric
Thomas? Yes. And then he's trying to Laveda. It's just like you said. He's like, Betty, that was my past. I don't want to talk about it. But it's not for you now. It's for someone else that's going through that. You got to share your message. There are too many men that are not talking about it. And it's just like you said, had you stayed there a second longer, if another person stays in a relationship a second longer, they're going to do something that may cause them the rest of their life incarcerated because of something you attempted to do, because of something she said or did. So, yes, it's Domestic Violence Month. And I know we have tons more women coming out than we do men, but men, take a stand, take a stand too, because it's not just about us. And I love how you spoke when Larry hit the table. I'm like, oh my goodness, is that table still there? It wasn't the grand piano, was it? I know how you love that grand piano. And we laugh about it, but it's like, listen, baby, enough is enough. I am not him.
I am not him. I will ask Dr. Betty. I can't wait to watch the broadcast with the other gentlemen. I would love to hear how the men men hear other men talking to their spouses, significant others, and treat them. I would like to charge all the men to speak up to that gentleman and risk their friendship to say, man, stop. Man,
Yes,
stop. If you
yes,
can't handle her, if you can't love her, leave. Just leave.
man, that's right.
Man
Come
up,
on,
man up. How about that?
man
Man.
up, man up. That is too funny. Man up. And this is so true. So that's why I'm glad I had, you to come on because you have such a profound message and you're that go-getter that will encourage someone like Michael, I think his first name is Michael, to say, listen, there's because you said it. He said, what level of violence? Are you kidding me? It's like zero tolerance, right?
Right.
There's zero tolerance for domestic violence. There's like a zero tolerance we want for cancer, you know? So is anything we want people to even when we're in the grocery stores, I'm like so tuned in to how I watch couples react. And at church too, wherever we are, and you see a couple interacting with one another.
Mhm.
One's like, "Come on, let's go." Uh, okay, I'm right behind you. It's like those little bitty signals. If you act that way in the public, what happens behind the closed door? You know? So I'm going to let you. We've been having fun today. We're coming back with some more because I want to introduce you to the rest of this particular platform so you can get them ready for your show. But tell us about Operation Unmute and
Oh
how
my.
one can get involved, get a part of that, or be a part of your next segment of that.
Absolutely. First, I thank you so much for accepting that. It's an honor to have Dr. Betty Speaks in this collaboration because, again, I know you have so many projects, and for you to say yes to be a part of that movement, it was amazing. And that's exactly what it is. Very briefly, Operation Unmute is a process into unmuting something that happened within you, something that's possibly caused you silence, but also now you're going to give strategic strategies and techniques and movement to go ahead and conquer over the enemy. We have 7 amazing authors from different type backgrounds, story levels, first time authors, multiple authors, like Dr. Betty. But you guys, listen, you can just go to operationunmute.com. But, to purchase a copy, of course, Dr. Betty, got to get Dr. Betty's copy as well. But follow me on my social media because we're going to do part 2, Dr. B. We got to go ahead because there's a lot of people that says, wait a minute, I didn't know I could talk about this.
Yes,
I didn't know that I can even create strategies and systems and techniques to help somebody else overcome the onto
absolutely.
the ground. So we're going to do part 2. We're going to kick up part 2 in the beginning of the year. So we'll be able to announce that again and get some more people out there to understand this is the process during this year, during this season. It's unmute, and something in the Greek or the Hebrew is 2020 is unmute. It's something with these numbers. One of my sisters
Yes,
was
yes,
down to me. She said, you didn't even know what you were doing. I said, no, ma'am. I just knew he told me to say unmute. So
yes.
y'all, they can follow me. We get that information. Come on, join the movement because we have to speak up for some people.
And I'm telling you, she's not talking about Mad Dog 2020. If there's something about Mad Dog 2020 that makes you want to unmute, you can talk to her about that too. But I promise you, this has nothing to do. Throw that in
That's not Mad Dog 2020. That's old school. That's only us understand what that is.
there.
Young people Google it. Just Google it and laugh.
Yes, Google it. I just had to throw it in because I saw someone say that was like a Facebook, like social media flyby, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is hilarious. But give us like a quote or something that inspires you to keep moving every day because you've had, like you say, this young lady is prior Marine, and look, I love it. Prior Marine, and you've been on, like I said, BET, ABC, and some other networks, and you have, like, I think you have a girls outlet also that you are affiliated with. You just got so much going on, Queen.
Well, I'm trying to be like you. I'm trying to be. Look, it's okay to be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat right there.
You stole that from me. I was going to say it about you.
Copycat. Well, if I can leave a quote, of course, there's many from famous poets and leaders, but the one that I'm going to selfishly put out there is a quote that I created, which is a tagline to my company. And it's simple: I am created to empower others, but first it starts with me. God has created us to do some amazing things, but you can't do those things now unless you worked on yourself first. So remember, you are created to empower others, but get yourself empowered first.
You heard it right here on Source Inspirational Channel. We have the lovey Dr. Laveda Whitfield. And she will be back because there's something that she has said that will inspire others. And I just want to say thank you all for tuning in to Soar Inspirational Channel. And thank you so much, Dr. Lovey. I love you to pieces.
I love you. Thank you, Dr. Betty, for the opportunity. Be
Yes,
blessed.
be blessed.